Hello and welcome to the Salt City Gamescast. It's episode 158. My name's Nick Naylor. Sitting across from me, Jared.
Hey, good to see you, Dick.
Yep. We took a week off, but we're here. And where'd you go? You went to San Francisco?
Yes, I did. I was in San Francisco, spending some time with some family. Pretty uneventful trip, honestly.
Yeah.
My family member is ready to burst with child.
So you're not out there just getting at
We
it
didn't-
after
we
it on
didn't-
the town.
She only did a couple of beer bongs while I was with her. So
Sure. Yeah.
we kept it pretty chill. No, but it was a good time. It's just like family time. Hung out with my niece as well, who is 1 year old and is probably the most advanced 1-year-old that I've ever encountered in my life. She like speaks full sentences. She like can have conversations with you, which is nutty to me. Like I just have never and like stark contrast because my family members' friends came over to their place on Saturday night, and they have a little girl that's the exact same age as my niece.
You see the difference.
Just like the other one just can't. She just like makes noises and shit. And then my niece is over there like, "Hey, let's go fucking go to the water table and play." And it's like, you're one. How is this possible? I don't understand.
It's pretty shocking the difference you can see when kids at a young age get around each other.
Yeah.
Like with our daughter, she would eat everything we would eat, right?
Yeah.
She'd like be at school and some kids just like, I like corn dogs and I like hot dogs. And she's like, ahi is my favorite fish.
Yeah.
And then just like fucking
just nuts. She's also very like, she's smart, but she's also like a little mischievous. So same situation with this other little girl there at this water table that my family members had in their backyard. And she didn't think that the adults were looking because we were all just like talking, having drinks. And she scooped up a big bucket of water and just dumped it over the little girl's head and was like super pleased with herself that she did it. So yeah, all in all, it was a good time.
All right. Well, I hope you're not too upset because I found a pretty good cocktail recipe, and it's like gin, cream of coconut, elderflower, some lime. Yeah, I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And but then you got here and you're like, well, this should be interesting because I don't really like coconut. So
yeah, not a huge fan of coconut. But what I will say is this is really good.
I'm a big fan.
Mm-hmm. No, it's nice. It's not, I mean, the coconut's there for sure. It's on the back end of this thing, but it's very citrus forward on the front. So definitely my jam from that perspective. Yeah, it's really good. I like it. What did you call it again? Liquid.
I don't have a name for it. I randomly just came across it. So I was just, when I was making them, I'm like telling my wife, I was like, it's a liquid pina colada. And she was just like, they're all fucking liquid. And I was like, yeah, but like normally it's frozen. Mm-hmm. This one's non-frozen. I don't know. But it's not with rum, and that's normally a pina colada. I've actually made this exact recipe with rum, just to screw around. And surprise, it's very good. But cream of coconut and citrus and rum is, you can't really fuck it up. But this is good too. The thing about this, it's not very strong. It's only has like 1.25 ounces of a gin and then 0.25 of the elderflower. So it's a pretty refreshing thing. It's on my list of things that I will make. Like into it.
You got to come up with a better name though. That's my only ask.
Yeah.
You just need to put some thought into that.
For sure.
Sit on it for a couple of weeks and come up with something better.
See what I can do. So I went camping while you were in San Francisco. The camping was, well, I guess there's one story from the camping and then there's some shenanigans after. But my son, who is like 4 months old, they've got like this sleeping bag bodysuit. It's a bodysuit, right? It's got legs and everything, but it's made with that slick sleeping bag material.
Yeah.
And then we took this Fisher Price bassinet thing, which also is kind of slick on the bottom. Mm-hmm. And he sleeps really well, but he moves he fucking waves his arms in the air all night long.
Yeah.
Next door, we were in a tent, and it was just the entire night. We were dying laughing like at 3 a.m. It was out of control. And we had to put some different blankets in there because we were just like, this fucking sucks.
We need to get some fucking friction in this bassinet.
Basically, it was but the camping was fun. It was always nice. We used to camp a lot. But it was nice to actually get out there. But
Yeah, you don't like camping.
I like camping. I don't like hiking.
Oh, okay.
See, camping's great, especially car camping.
Yeah.
Car camping, you get to bring all the shit.
Yeah.
You're not out there. You're not roughing it. All right. You
Right.
drove your nice car there. You have a cooler full of beers. You can have stuff for cocktails. You can have pretty good food. You just bring it.
Sure.
And with the grills and everything. Backpacking is a little harder because then you're just like barely surviving because you have to pack it all. But I do enjoy actual camping. I just don't want to fucking go anywhere. I'm at camp. There's a fire.
Yeah.
A book.
Yeah, don't want to go anywhere.
You're fine. But we came home and everything has gone to shit for 5 days. So we get home and the dogs were at my brother-in-law's and they got into some stuff, ate some stuff. Lord knows. We heard that they opened up some of the pill openings, but it was just like ibuprofen type for, is it Tramadol or something that dogs get? But which is kind of sketchy. And then I think that they got into the dog food and just feasted, like they'll never stop. And
right.
I think they ate there. The house isn't dog proof, so who knows what, right? So they come home, and the first night around midnight, our fridge upstairs starts beeping like, and then nothing. And we go up there, and everything in the freezer is defrosted, and it's not great. And this fucker won't shut up, which is actually the bigger problem. Like, I'm just like, we'll buy new food. It's fine. But,
right.
We finally somehow get the thing to shut up I have no idea how. We were just like slamming doors and trying different reset things, whatever. So the fridge is broken. We go back to bed. And then 2 hours later, Nala is pacing. And my wife's like, Nala needs to go out. Something's going on. I get up and I was just like, oh, she needs to go out because this room smells like a fucking toilet.
Oh my God.
So I took Nala out. She's got the shits, but she had already taken a huge dump in the hall outside of our bedroom. So this is like at 2 a.m. We're up cleaning carpets and it's not great. Not how you write it up.
No.
So we the fridge still isn't fixed. We've had like the repairman out. Somehow, I can't believe it. We got like the warranty thing from Lowe's when we got it, which I usually don't ever do, but apparently we did. Okay. So they're going to fix it for free. The only catch is it's still not fixed. So if I get real mad, I'm just going to go buy a new fucking fridge.
So it's not actively freezing your food. It's not doing what it's supposed to do.
We don't have anything. It's unreliable. It keeps like that noise thing keeps coming back every day. It just keeps doing its fucking bullshit thing.
The noise would like typically indicate like one of the doors was left open, right?
Yeah, like something's resetting on the panel. Like it's like he thinks it's the fan. The fan is not working, and then it keeps trying to tell me that and whatever. All at the same moment, my daughter has gone to school, and you have to learn how to wipe your ass if you're going to go to school.
Sure.
Which means all my toilets are clogged.
Oh God.
Because if you're a kid and you're just like, well, I don't want shit on my hand.
Yeah.
So you use just a hilarious amount of I walked into the bathroom once and she was just there was probably 4 feet out and she just wraps it around her arm. Like I was like, what the fuck? I'll just get you a flat rubber glove. Like, what are we doing? Like what? So we've had to
wasting TP in this economy.
So I've had to unclog the toilet and then suddenly the upstairs bathroom smells like a dumpster. It just does. It smells terrible.
This just keeps on getting worse, man.
It just smells terrible in the upstairs bathroom. And this was actually the same day that everything else happened. The same night we got home from camping and we're like, something's fucking wrong in this bathroom. And it reeks. It smells like a dumpster. That's still not fixed. We've had people out. We're worried it could be mold somehow, but I don't know how it like suddenly showed up. I'm skeptical of the whole thing because to me it smells like a dumpster. It's not great. In the meantime, Dave is now sick. So Dave, and he's a huge fucking dog. Luckily, Dave has never taken a shit in our house, but a hilarious amount of vomit. And of course, all dogs will do this. They like look around and they're like hardwood floor, tile floor, linoleum floor, shag carpet. And that's right
Target acquired.
Like he walks into the nursery and my wife is feeding the baby and he's just like, ugh. And then I'm dragging him out and it's like just going everywhere, right? And so in the meantime, for 4 days, these dogs have been shitting. They are finally better. I probably should have taken them to the vet.
Yeah.
But my yard will never recover because they've just been destroying it with diarrhea.
Yeah.
And I've got one of those things that you pick poop up with, and it's got the little rake.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're like experienced with rakes,
Pretty experienced.
but they're not rakes and diarrhea. You're just like,
yeah, you're just moving it around. Yeah. Just got to spray it down with the hose, man.
So I'm glad to be here drinking.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a very good week. Fucking everything's breaking.
Sounds...
and the microwave broke. We had to buy a new microwave at the same time.
What the fuck is happening?
I don't know.
Did an EMP blast go off above your house and like just fried all of your electronics?
I mean, that's probably not a crazy theory because why, like the microwave, we purposefully bought it, an old one. Like the 90s ones that just last forever. It's a white ass microwave. And yeah, so we couldn't even find, now we had to buy a new one. So it'll probably last a year because everything sucks.
Yeah.
So,
yep. Well, that's not great. I figured you might have been having a little bit of a rough week because typically, at least in my experience, I usually hear from you a little bit during the week if you're not occupied with a bunch of bullshit. But makes sense, man.
It's not been good. It's just like, and this all went fine, but it's like my daughter started kindergarten, so you're navigating all that shit. And at the same moment, you're just dealing with this, and it's like, I got to take this week off for disaster cleanup.
God damn, like, dude. That's just like perfect storm.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think that's how it usually goes, right?
Yeah, for sure. When it rains, it pours, as they say, right?
Pretty much. But I've been playing games. I think you've been playing games. There's some pretty good stuff out there, I think.
Yeah, I've been playing some fucking games for sure.
You told me that you played Ninja Gaiden? It's Gaiden. Gaiden.
I think it's like tomato.
Is it? Because I grew up always saying Gaiden, and then I think I got corrected at some point.
I mean, I think the official like proper pronunciation, like if you're talking from like a Japanese perspective, is Gaiden.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck it means. But yeah, there's a new Ninja Gaiden game.
And we get 2 this year. This is a side scroller one, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
There's also
4.
Ninja Gaiden 4, which all the people that were really just hanging on the end for the sequel to 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably been like 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah, it's been a while for sure. They re-released Ninja Gaiden Black 2, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black this year as well, which I have a physical copy of that. And people that are a big fan of that series say that new like re-release is fantastic. I haven't got around to messing around with it though.
I really like 1 and 2. I played them at release, so it was never the black versions. I'm not sure exactly what the difference is.
Yeah. It's like director's cut things, I think, just more content. But yeah, at any rate, there is a new, more traditional Ninja Gaiden game that is out called Ragebound. And oh boy, it's fucking pretty great, man.
So is this is this basically a throwback to the original side scroller ones, or is it going to be a little more advanced?
I mean, there's more meat on the bone, and it's definitely enhanced. But you know, I think that we have kind of become accustomed to a lot of these games nowadays having Metroidvania style elements. You know, that's not here. This is like a straight up like level based. Go from one level, fight a boss, go to the next level. There's like not a lot of there is some customizability. You can equip a talisman, and there are like different weapons that you can equip, side weapons. But outside of that, there isn't really a proper progression tree or any sort of like gear systems in the game. So
that gives you choice.
Yeah, there is some choice, but not a ton of choice, right? But despite all of these things that you maybe would think on paper, like, oh, that doesn't sound super compelling. It is super fucking compelling. This game is fantastic. Absolutely incredible. And I really appreciate it just because it isn't those things that I just described. You know, it is an older school. Like it feels like something that could have came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. It's just definitely, a little older school in its execution, but it does everything that it's trying to do exceptionally well and is a lot of goddamn fun to play.
A lot of bosses in this thing.
Yeah, there's a boss after every level. Like
Mhm.
at the end of each level, you fight a boss. All the bosses are great. This is the same dudes that did Blasphemous. So,
Oh,
yes.
okay. Well,
Yes.
I really just fucking played that, and I really
Yeah.
liked it. Huh.
Yeah. Is that Game Kitchen, I believe, is what they're
I
called,
think so.
something like that. But yeah, so they are behind this thing, and so one of the big things is you do not play as Ryu Hayabusa, which is obviously like the main character in
Mhm.
most of them. He fucks off on an adventure, and you play as an underling of his that is Kenji. Kenji, I believe, is his name. And the game starts out pretty basically. You're just going from level to level, fighting bosses. The story is ridiculous and it's kind of tongue in cheek funny. They definitely are leaning on humor in the writing and things like that.
Hmm.
The CIA is involved with like demons, and it's just
Yeah.
the nuttiest shit ever.
Checks
And you have
out.
to go on a globe trotting adventure to prevent evil demons from being resurrected. And because Ryu is off on his own adventure, you've got to do it on your own. So that's how it starts. But very early on, you get like a companion character that is like kind of the polar opposite of the main character, where he just is like he's got a sword, he can jump, and he does this thing called a guillotine jump, where it's basically like you bounce, like you jump and then you hit B again. And he does this like spinning move, and if you hit it and time it right, you can bounce off of enemies and keep position in the air. So it's really satisfying. Like it's not anything new, like plenty of games have done this, but that mechanic is just always really satisfied, especially if it's executed well. It's executed well here. But yeah, so the secondary character is a chick.
You switch off at will, or you switch off like certain levels, or
So at the beginning you alternate characters,
Mhm.
where they try to just get you acclimated to their kit and how they function. But pretty early on in the game, there is this cataclysmic event which requires you to kill the female character, and you kill her with this dagger. That then the dagger basically absorbs her essence, and she basically becomes a ghost that follows you around. And at that point in time, you can use both of their kits at the same time. So um, she basically functions as a ranged attacks, and then Kenji is like sword, right? So
you can
you're
use their
close
kits
combat.
like you switch, or you just
You use them
have.
at the same time. You can literally use them at the same time. So you can hit. It's mapped. The controls are a little weird. They're like very old school. It took some time to get used to the way that the game has the buttons mapped, but you can literally hit like both of the corresponding attack buttons at the same time for each character, and they'll both attack, right? The ranged character, her attacks are tied to a gauge, a meter that fills up slowly when you do damage to enemies. So you can't just freely spam her attacks, but you can with the main character.
So he charges her,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And then
Yes. The other thing that's very unique about this game is this polarity system that's here, where so the main character, his like corresponding color is blue and hers is red, right? And most enemies in the game that come at you are pretty much like one hit and they're dead. A lot of them are. But then, you're constantly going to be encountering enemies that are tankier and require multiple hits to take down. Sometimes a lot more hits than you would maybe expect, especially if you haven't like wrapped your mind around the mechanic that I'm going to describe. But certain enemies will come on the screen and they'll have like an aura around them. One will be blue, one will be red, right? And so if it's blue, you attack with a sword, and that charges up the character, and then you do like one big swing and it kills anything instantly, right? Excluding bosses, I should say. Same thing goes for her, where you throw a kunai, that's what she uses as her attack, at the enemies that have red auras around them. Then you absorb and power up, and then you can do the same thing, but it's a ranged attack, right? And it works really well, and the way that they implement it is pretty fantastic. The only thing that I would say doesn't work super well about it is it's all pretty telegraphed. So like you'll see a big enemy that you know is going to take multiple hits if you are not powered up. And it's always like, well, I'm just going to kind of stand my ground because I know a polarized enemy is going to come and show up here shortly. And I'm just going to slash them and then get powered up and then kill that enemy. Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of telegraphed from that way. But outside of that, I still think that it's a fantastic mechanic that really mixes up the gameplay and makes you think about every encounter. This game is not easy. I will say that, which is kind of par for the course for the series, just in its totality. All of them are pretty challenging games. Especially the one that this is pulling from, which was the original on the NES, and that game is hard as shit.
Those crows.
Yeah, there's lots of you getting hit, and then like the animation where he like gets pushed backwards. God, that fucking shit pissed me off.
I've played very little of the game because immediately it was pretty much just like, oh fuck this, absolutely not.
Yeah, I haven't got super far in it either. Whenever I played it, I was just like not equipped. I don't know if I'm equipped now to beat that game. That's just fucking hard. But a lot of people are big fans. Some people say that's like one of the best games on the console, which is, I mean, when we're talking about the NES, is pretty big library. That's a pretty nice accolade to have. But yeah, this game's not easy. I think that they've kind of like smoothed the edges of kind of the frustration, because like old school Ninja Gaiden, like you straight up have finite amount of lives, and if you die, it's like game over and you start from the beginning again, right? There's checkpoints here throughout the levels. Some of them are spread out a little bit too far away where you're like, God damn it. Like
when you die, you're like, fuck, I gotta go way back.
Yeah, exactly. But as you progress through the levels, there's going to be probably 2 or 3 checkpoints for each level. So that's nice to see, because it is hard. The game throws a lot of enemies at you. They come from behind you, like old school style, where you're just walking to the right and then an enemy will just show up from behind you. And you're like, you remember that from like
some bullshit.
Yeah. But it's super satisfying. The game plays really well. And, it's just fantastic, dude.
How long are these bosses taking you? Or are some
of them are really fucking
really
hard.
Have to grind against it to learn their kit?
Yeah, probably like 15 to 20 tries. Some of them are way easier than others, and like where they're like, so there's a boss fairly early on that was probably the hardest boss in the game for me in particular. That took me a long time. And then I was thinking to myself as I was playing through the game, I was like, oh man, this boss was pretty hard. If they're going to be like presumably more challenging as I go, this is going to get really fucking hairy. And then there are just like bosses later in the game that are just like a breeze, like a cakewalk. Yeah. But the boss fights are good. They're really good. I've seen a lot of people talk about some of the boss designs in the Blasphemous series and kind of comparing and contrasting what's here in comparison to those games. And it seems like people that are a big fan of Blasphemous are also huge fans of this, because the fucking boss fights are really fun. They make you think. They throw different things at you. You've got to, kind of adapt to their kits and learn it to have success. So my favorite thing about this game is the level design. Because it's not a Metroidvania. Like I said, you're just going from level to level. The level design here is just so varied, and they throw all sorts of different shit at you in the levels. And I really think that's where this game shines and really elevates it in my mind. It's just like they clearly put a lot of thought into the level design. What are we gonna do to kind of like mix up, the platforming hack and slash gameplay here and really make it unique in each individual level. There's a couple of ridiculous things. You ride a dirt bike at one point in time, and it's basically like a rail shooter, which is fantastic. And then you get on a jet ski later in the game. There is a level where you're hanging on like the legs of a helicopter as it's flying around, and that one's
Contra 3.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really cool shit in these levels, and
sounds real dumb. I like it.
Yeah, no, it's super dumb.
The story you were saying that it's dumb. Is there a lot of it? Like, are they?
No, there's not a ton of it. I will say that the writing, there is some pretty funny dialogue between the 2 main characters in the game. When there are breaks in the action, but this thing is really just balls to the wall action. There isn't a lot of dialogue. The story is very surface level. It's stupid and kind of funny. But yeah, that's not where you're coming here for this thing.
It kind of felt when I played Blasphemous, they had big Dead Cell vibes, not in how the game functioned, but like in the art and the models.
Sure.
When I was playing it, I was just like, these guys played Dead Cell. Absolutely. Like that dude just shrugged his shoulders in a way.
Yeah.
Does that feel similar or no?
I don't know if I got Dead Cell vibes from this at all, just because it's kind of a completely different animal. But I will say that the sprites are really nicely detailed. There's a lot of color saturation in the game, so it looks great for what they're going for, right? I mean, it's very primitive looking, obviously, but yeah, like backgrounds and just like elements within the levels as you kind of progress through the levels is really cool. I think that the character animations are all really good. All of the enemy types, there's a lot of different enemies in this game. They're all varied. They all kind of pose a different challenge to you as you progress, and they all look good. Yeah, they all are difficult. And like the first time you run into a lot of the enemies, you're like, oh shit, like what do I need to do here to find success against this thing? So just a really, I mean, it's quite short, you finish.
Are you done?
Yeah, I finished it. Yeah, it's like 10 hours, to get through, depending on how much the bosses cause you trouble.
There are difficulty levels, like
there is once you beat the game.
Okay.
It unlocks like a harder mode. There's also these like elongated levels that basically function as challenges. So you go to a secondary menu, and then it basically will tell you the challenge level for the level. And then they're just like expanded versions of the levels that you already previously played with much more challenge in them. So I'm working my way through those because they're just optional. But it's all a really good time. Additionally, there's 2 different endings for the game. And depending on what character you choose at the end of the game, there's like a pretty, significant choice you have to make. It's a different story. But if you finish the last level twice and pick both sides of the story, then you get a final level that is like a boss rush where you fight every single boss back to back to back, which is really fucking hard. And I have not been able to get through that yet. And I don't know if I'm going to really do that.
You have the chops or the patience.
Yeah.
Probably the patience, right?
Probably the patience. Like if I beat my head against the wall, I could probably figure it out. But yeah, just a really good time. I have nothing but good things to say about this thing.
How long did you say?
10 hours.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's quick. It's super quick. It's like, I think it's $16 as well. So it's not going to break the bank at all. I think this thing is really fucking good. I appreciate it for what it is. And yeah, I'm kind of like excited for the next Ninja Gaiden game for late. I think that comes out in October or September.
I believe it was October.
So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm
excited for that. I have fondness for those 1 and 2 at least. I think 3 was the one that everyone was like, this is not it. But 1 and 2 were pretty good and very fucking hard. So
right,
if it falls in that same model, then that's probably something I'm gonna like a lot.
Yeah, obviously completely different games, but I am pretty excited. But I would highly recommend that you check this thing out. Runs well on the Switch 2. That's where I played it. It's on all consoles and PC as well, but pick it up for $16 on Switch 2 and you'll have a good time. It's worth it.
I am on board with the Switch 2 form factor. I went back to the Steam Deck a little bit and felt awkward.
Yeah.
I didn't have the problems you had with like literally my hands going numb with the Steam Deck, but I do not hate how the Switch 2 feels.
Agreed.
I think it feels just fine. And I don't have issues with my hands playing it, and it just feels a little cleaner. It's almost like that Steam Deck was a little too bulky. It's like it's bulky like a controller, but it's not a controller. So something about it.
Yeah.
Now that I have another one to compare it to, I was like, oh, I like the Steam Deck less. Interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I obviously feel the same way. I think the form factor is perfect for the Switch. I still don't love the Joy-Cons. Want to get something a little bit better. But I do like the form factor, and I don't have any issues with it like hurting my wrists in the way that the Steam Deck does. So
I'm a little disappointed because I pre-ordered some like external thing that slides over the Switch. I forget the name of it. It doesn't. I think it ships next month. So it basically is going to make it be more like the Steam Deck. So now I'm worried it's going to show up and I'm not even going to like it. But,
did you see the pictures of the Xbox handheld at Gamescom?
No,
that thing's a fucking monstrosity.
Is it?
Yeah, like I was looking at it and
$1,000.
Yeah, well, they haven't released the price yet, have they? And people were like, "What the fuck? Why aren't you releasing the price?" and the obvious answer is because it's gonna be fucking expensive.
The placeholder price that showed up for a while because people were immediately memeing about it was $10,000. It was $9,999. That either it was Amazon or Best Buy had it as a placeholder, and people were just like, "What the fuck's this?"
Yeah, I was looking at it. There's some high detailed pictures online from Gamescom at their booth, and like it looks fairly similar to the Steam Deck, except it like has like controller flare out. So I was just thinking about it, like it's probably still too bulky for me.
Yeah.
Just because I'm sure it's going to be pretty heavy. But the idea of having more like proper, almost like a controller in your hands while you're playing a handheld, it might be okay.
I'm very interested in a new handheld that can do Steam, and then in that case, really easily the Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
But in the back of my head, I just want a little. I want to make sure I get a good enough power bump over what I have with Steam Deck. So I'm just like, I feel like I should wait and wait and wait.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 years, and then see something comes out that's like, oh yeah, some of this stuff's gonna play a lot better.
For sure. I mean, at that point in time, 2-3 years down the line, I mean, it's possible that Valve is already
done. Exactly. Yeah. And I would immediately be interested in that. I would pretty much pre-order it right away if they come out and say they're weird though. They'll do a second one. They won't do Steam Deck 3, but they will do 2.
Yeah.
It's their whole deal. Their
for sure. Yeah.
company motto is to do 2. So they'll do 2 and they'll wait.
No trilogies over here at Valve.
Fucking those fuckers. All right. Is there anything else on that?
No, go check it out.
All
It's
right.
good.
All right. I finally, I've kind of alluded to Liza P, briefly talked about it for the last little bit. They have that Overture DLC that came out, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks ago, maybe a little longer, but
it's been a while.
Yeah, but I immediately ran into a problem, and it was a frustrating problem, but it was that you have to be to like chapter 9 to start the DLC. And if I hadn't started a New Game Plus, everything would have been great. And I would have played on normal and everything would have been just fine. Instead, I had a New Game Plus at chapter 3, so I had to get that up to the chapter 9. And then as soon as I started the DLC, it's like, this is fucking hard. Your level's not right. And basically they were right. I got absolutely wrecked. So then I had to go back, and I've almost finished the game on New Game Plus. I think I have 2 bosses left on to replay the base game, which sucks, but also the game's great. So like I had fun. Like it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to a point where I had gotten enough upgraded gear and gotten my stats up to where I could actually beat the fucking crocodile, who's an absolute motherfucker. And there's 2 bosses in this game like this, and Elden Ring or the From games do it as well. And they're really cool. They're really big bosses. They're designed, they're awesome to look at. But like the hitbox situation and them hitting you and knowing when to block and stuff, it doesn't fucking work. It doesn't work in the FromSoft games. You can't tell. You're just like, you're too fucking big. I don't know when you're attacking. Or
it's
like,
just the size.
Yeah, well, the size makes it so it's like, especially with Liza P, which is a parry game, right? And you're just like, well, this doesn't really work. Sometimes it's just very hard to see the telegraph moves as opposed to a boss that fits in the screen. I did get through the croc, and it was great design. And this is a really good DLC. This game, Liza P, just rules. The game is just fucking awesome, and the DLC is a great compliment. Unfortunately, and it's pretty widespread, is it's fucking hard on New Game Plus. Like this DLC, I wish I was on the standard, because I probably would have been done by now, because some of these bosses are motherfuckers. Like, and they are very unique. There is the whole thing is Pinocchio puppets aesthetic, but there is a boss that's awesome, and she normal size boss, but then she has basically a string to a puppet that flies around the air in the whole arena, and you might not know where that puppet is, and they can both attack you, but they both won't attack you at the same time. And this string changes colors, so it's just like it switches to red, and you're like, fuck, they're coming from the sky. And it's a really cool, like, they have good ideas. Like, these bosses are really good. I enjoyed like figuring out that fight, switching the aggro between the two and figuring out how to beat them. And the number of enemies that are unique is very high, especially for a DLC.
Mhm.
Like sometimes you expect to see a lot of reused ones, or um, they'll have a few new enemies for the DLC, but you're gonna see them an enormous amount, and that's not what happens here. Almost to an extent where I wish it was a little more, because there you go through a zoo that's been like abandoned and it's all fucked, and so there's some animals that are roaming around, and there is this kangaroo motherfucker, and he's such an asshole. It's just a normal enemy. There's like two variants of him, but it's really awesome how he attacks you. It's very hard to predict. He's a motherfucker, and it's just a kangaroo, and there's a like a monkey orangutan type deal. Not sure. It's not a gorilla, but it's big like a gorilla. I don't know. Maybe a monkey expert can chime in
Sure.
or on ape expert, but it keeps doing that, and sometimes it's like you might only fight 7 or 8 of these kangaroos, and then it's on to the next one, and then it's on to some new enemy, and that's pretty appreciated. I think it's really good. I'm not done. There's basically 8 new bosses. I'm on the 6th, and he's been kicking my ass, and he's another big one, and that's where. So there's just been 2, and I'm on the second one. I've almost got him, but he's an absolute fucking asshole, and I'm getting close. Like you slowly learn it, but I have tried. I've probably fought him 30 times, I think,
Wow.
and that's a little frustrating. I think the story is interesting. I have, because it had been so long since I played the first one, I really haven't engaged too much with what the story is here, but it all seems pretty cool. I guess like they try a little more than mm, people get really mad, but I don't want to say more than FromSoft games, but it's a little more clear than FromSoft games in the story they're telling.
Sure.
One day you need to play these. I think that you would really enjoy it.
Yeah, especially with the DLC out, there really is no reason not to. And right now would probably be a good time. But we do have Metal Gear Solid coming out next week, so
They aren't that long. I mean, the game's not that long. I was like 30 hours for the first one, and I think I'm up into the 50s now.
Mhm.
I was doing just some Googling because this boss is kicking my ass, and like some people are like, yeah, this boss was really hard on New Game Plus. Um, I was only level 180, but I was able to get him. And I was just like, I'm 145. Wait, you're 180. I'm like, I'm nowhere near. So I don't know what that disconnect is, because there were a lot of people that were mentioning their levels at this boss in New Game Plus, and it was significantly higher than me.
Mhm.
And I don't know what sort of grinding they did or why, because I mean, maybe clearly I do maybe need to do some grinding because he's kicking my ass, but
Interesting.
shit's
Yeah,
fun.
I need to check it out at some point. How do you feel about Black Myth Wukong sequel?
I saw that. I saw some. I didn't read too much into it, but I kind of saw something that's like this thing's early, and
It
it's
has to be.
like
Yeah.
it is early, and they're just saying it's coming. Which
Right.
sure, like they should probably do. I mean, that thing sold a bajillion copies, so
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, like it does make sense. It's just kind of surprising that we saw a trailer this early. I mean, that game came out last year. So,
For sure. I think that's really cool. I think that we're seeing a lot. That's out of that was out of China, right?
Wukong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some problems with what I mean. It's awesome that we're getting as many games out of China that we are. But what's the game that we just talked about? The one that just came out that you thought was generic.
Oh, Wu Chang.
Wu Chang,
Yeah.
as well as that. Have you seen that they patched it and made significant changes?
Mm-mm.
They I'm not even going to try to remember what tribes they're representing, but the government was not happy because there were certain uh enemies that represented a certain tribe that died in the game,
Mm-hmm.
and it pissed off the Chinese,
Mm-hmm.
and they have patched it all out, and now these they don't die. They're these big bosses you fight, and then they don't die, and then they're still there for you to talk to, and people are just like, they just like, the story makes no fucking sense anymore because of what they did, and they had to patch it, and it sounded pretty significant and really weird. Multiple bosses are now just like, all right, good sparring match. See you later.
Yeah, that's that's the reality of dealing with the CCP,
Yep.
and they can just do whatever the fuck they want. I would have said the Uyghurs, but the Chinese have no problem killing them, so I don't know what that was an inflammatory statement, and we are definitely not going to pick up any traction in China with that one. But I mean, don't be fucking assholes.
It just that's kind of concerning a little bit. Like, this is some kind of extreme censorship when it's just like, this game's not real life.
Yeah.
What are we fucking doing here?
Well, and also the reality is that this only crops up every once in a while when we've got like an intellectual property from China. But America industry is so intrinsically linked to China that like we've been catering to those motherfuckers forever when it comes to, all sorts of different businesses. The NBA is a great example, of all the censorship that they do for the Chinese market because basketball is wildly popular in China. And so it's just like that's just the reality.
And it gets really awkward with that NBA stuff because you've got certain players in the NBA that are very outspoken about a lot of things.
Sure.
And suddenly get real fucking quiet real quick.
Yep.
As soon as the China deals started happening, I was just like, seems kind of gross. I don't know.
Yeah, it is really gross. On one hand, you have very clearly talented developers and really good games coming out of that region at a pretty steady clip. And
a game I just saw, like Lost Soul Aside, comes out next week. I don't know if it's gonna be any good, but it kind of looks cool.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize, but Genshin Impact is like the best-selling like gacha game of all time.
That makes sense,
which I didn't realize that it was that fucking big of a deal, but like billions of dollars, and that's from China. Like, there's just a lot of examples that you can kind of point to now where very clearly talented people, but then you got to deal with some of this bullshit. And the reality is hopefully it gets better in terms of censorship and things like that, but that would take a lot of years for that to happen because the great leader, Xi, is not going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, we're going to take a break. And after that, we'll go back and kind of put a bow on a bunch of games we've been playing.
Let's wrap it up.
Final updates. Okay, we're back. Jared, I've got a big decanter on the table.
Yeah.
I was doing some reading, and maybe I'm wrong, or maybe where I was reading was wrong, but I got a little worried because I've got a few whiskeys in decanters, and there was some opinions out there that it's not it because you're not getting a good seal with these decanters.
Right.
So if you're keeping something in a decanter for very long,
no good.
You're making a mistake.
Yeah, no good, boss.
So we're drinking the decanters.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. You're typically what you're going to do with a decanter is put something cheap in it, and or drink it very quickly, right? They are very pretty, and I love the presentation aspects of decanters. Yours is beautiful. I really like it. But yeah, it ain't it if you're gonna sit on some whiskey for a bit.
So I'm this is just the cheapest Weller basically out there, which comes with a screw top, which can't be that much better than this either.
No,
but
accurate, very accurate.
So I've got a few decanters that I need to I guess drink the booze, and that's fine.
That's the best solution. Just drink the booze.
Drink the booze, or be making whiskey sours out of Weller and things.
Yeah. I have a full bottle of Special Reserve and then a unopened bottle of Special Reserve. So I'm not really pulling it off the shelf very often. I did drink a shitload of 12 last night, more than I should have. And woke up this morning and was like, God damn, I ran through like that bottle. Jesus Christ. So yeah, not great there because that's an expensive bottle of whiskey.
Well, if you're enjoying yourself,
I mean, I was from what I remember, but I woke up a little foggy this morning.
Sure.
Had to go get a little the hair of the dog and some ramen to
Mm.
fix and right the ship.
I made some. Wasn't hungover this morning, but I had a couple whiskey sours with that 1792 full proof.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice whiskey sour. That's
That is a nice bottle of whiskey. I love the proof on that
yep.
thing. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that thing. That's some good shit. Are you done with Death Stranding?
Yeah, I'm done.
You've put a bow on it.
Fuck, 115 hours in, and yes, I finished that fucking thing.
Wow.
And boy, by the end, I really wanted to not play Death Stranding anymore. Not because it's not a fantastic game, but because I had just played so much goddamn Death Stranding.
That happens with 100-hour games. That's tough. I mean, there's
I don't have that issue with a lot. Like, I think it's specifically Death Stranding.
I absolutely loved Dragon Quest 11. I was ready to be done with Dragon Quest 11.
I think that that's natural. Like, you get that feeling when you're in like the very late stages of a game that's
Especially
really
that
long.
game that does a fucking pulls the rug out.
Yeah, what a great game that is.
Mm.
But you're like, oh man, I know I'm close, and I just like it's just for us. There's always something new to play,
Mhm.
and so yeah, I'm just constantly like, it's time to move on to the next thing. You know, I'm ready. I'm ready to go. But yeah, finished it. Did a lot of shit. I didn't do everything, which kind of hurt me inside. But the idea of getting 5 stars on every single settlement in the game, like that's a really tedious
Became
process,
too much
man.
of a grind.
Yeah, and also like the rewards for those 5 stars are just not it. It's just like a patch, you know what I mean? Like we talked about in one of like the 6 conversations we've had about this goddamn game. I feel like I've been playing it for a year. But yeah, I think that the game as a whole is fantastic. I think Kojima just kind of went off the walls with it and just kind of did what he wanted to do. So like I respect that a great deal. I will say, the story never grabbed me, man. I just never felt any sort of attachment to any of the characters, and I really just did not get it. I mean, I didn't get it. I'm not going to even play like I understood what the fuck was happening. There is some absolute, we talked about it, like the final hours of this game are fucking wacky. Some of the most visually impressive things that I've seen in a video game, just incredible, dude. But it all kind of falls short for me, just because the story is just the dumbest shit ever, and it just did not resonate with me.
It's frustrating because the fidelity of the presentation all of this
Yeah.
and the characters and everything, it's so high. It's so high with what he makes
Mhm.
that you want to be engaged in the story because like this fucking looks fantastic and we're doing incredible things. And then with the first one, you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, there's shit like it's really so difficult to convey
It's
how
like-
insane some of the shit at the end of this game is. There is some truly cool moments at the end. Like the very last sequence of the game. I mean, wow, visually
Mhm.
impressive. There's just some really cool things in it. There's some nods back to MGS in this thing. Um, Outside of Neil Vanna, which is just Solid Snake. And like, yeah, the overarching story is digestible and understandable. Like I understand what happens and like why it's significant. And there is some cool stuff, but the particularly the end, which I won't spoil, but the end, there is like kind of a like after credit scene which potentially shows where the series is going to go in the future. And it's cool because I don't really like Norman Reedus very much. But also I was like, I don't know if I want another Death Stranding game. And obviously it'll be a long time before that happens, but just based on the end, it like almost Witcher 3 vibes of like fade to black, but there's this like one last sequence where you're like, oh shit, like is this where he's gonna go with this thing?
Mhm.
And it's kind of cool. But yeah, the ending of it is just absolutely insane. There's a quite literally like a perspective shift at the end of this game where it turns into like a 2D like fighting game
Weird.
with health bars and
Weird.
everything at the top of the screen. and it is hilarious. I won't.
Yeah, baby strapped to your chest throughout this.
No,
Yeah.
no baby strapped to your chest for reasons.
Mm.
But yeah, it looks really cool, and it's a really cool idea. I don't think that it's a particularly fun sequence. It feels very stiff and kind of just you're going through the motions with it. So on one hand, it's very visually impressive and like it's a crazy funny idea. But yeah, in like the actual gameplay, it's there's not much to really say about it.
I think it's disappointing because I haven't played all of the Metal Gear games, so I have played the first two.
Mhm.
The, and
Now you're gonna
those
play the third one here
and
next week.
and those stories go off the wall, but they are, I think, a little more, well, grounded's not the right word because they're ridiculous, but like you can play through it and generally be like, I get it.
Yeah.
I feel like a little more than, at least even when I played the first Death Stranding, it was just like it goes too far, too
Yeah.
far. And my same complaints with stuff like Control and Alan Wake 2. Like I'm all in, and then just like, oh, you just need to stop like 3 lights back, and we've
Yeah.
been set.
Yeah. This thing, I mean, it's like it's one of those things where you like again, you just respect him as an artist and like really pushing the boundaries of what you can do as far as like storytelling goes and things like that. But yeah, it's just like a like indie art film but a AAA video game that costs millions and millions of dollars to make. That's what it is, you know what I mean? And where you fall on that is really gonna you got to buy into the bullshit. And for me, like, I don't necessarily buy into Kojima's bullshit. I just am like, oh, okay, like eye rolling through the last portion of this game. One thing that we talked about originally, you know, boss fights were pretty lame. You didn't like the boss fights. I got to tell you, all the boss fights fucking suck. And
Okay.
there are multiple instances where you fight the same thing that literally does the same thing. And it's like the most lame kind of like lazy design in my opinion, because it's always like this thing's got 4 legs and there's this weak point in the middle of your leg and you got to shoot the leg and then it will fall down on the ground and then you can do big damage to this like glowing spot on its head. He reuses this idea throughout the entire fucking game, excluding the last boss, the final boss in the game, which is a pretty unique fight in comparison to the ones in the earlier part of the game. There just isn't a lot of variety here, and I just it never was like, yes, I'm really into these.
It's extremely disappointing for the man that brought you like Revolver Ocelot and Psycho Mantis
Right.
2.5 decades ago.
Yeah.
Like it's
that
part's just kind of a bummer.
And with Delta coming out next week, I will be shocked if you don't come away after playing and fighting some of those bosses being like, oh my God, these bosses are fucking awesome. A lot of them are just very unique. They throw different things at you and you've got to really think. And there's just like crazy shit that you can do with a lot of the bosses in that game, ways to approach it.
Is that PS5 only or is it going to be
So it's on PC.
Yay.
Yeah, it's on PC.
Because I'm going to have a shiny new one that I want to test out. So
yeah. I saw Digital Foundry did a review of like the tech of both the games running on base level PS5 and then PS5 Pro. And right now, obviously, we're not factoring in like day one patches, which often happens in the gaming industry. But ironically, the PlayStation 5 Pro performed worse than the base level PS5, which makes no fucking sense to me. And I'm playing it on PS5 just for the nostalgia, obviously, you know, of playing the original game on the PlayStation 2 way back when. But one thing
that is such a fucking problem.
Yeah, it's a problem.
If that's true day one, that is
yeah, not great. What I will say is, I mean, this is Unreal Engine 5 that they're using for this thing, and everyone that has it's reviewed really well for the most part. Good on Konami for having like a reasonable embargo as well. Reviews went out like mid week this week, and it comes out next Thursday. So like, yeah, it seems like it's going to be good, and it's literally frame for frame. They took the motion and like the character animations, everything is just frame for frame. They did like a compare and contrast on the Digital Foundry video that I watched, and it's literally like just ultra facelift on this game, but the entire thing is like exactly like the original, which I kind of like,
I
but
I don't know if I do. I played the original for a few hours and bounced because
yeah,
it was when I went through 1, I went through 2, and then I went
yeah.
to 3, and it was there were some survival elements that turned me off quite a bit, but I believe I was trying to play it on the Vita. So
Okay.
let's scratch it up to that little thing not being the right way to experience it.
Probably.
Um,
Yeah, revamped controls here though. So they completely overhauled the controls.
well, that might, if it controls like 5 felt so fucking good.
You can switch to original controls if you want and play it classically, but
I saw that. I just read an article.
think
about that.
most people that I saw reviews of were like, just switch to the modern controls because it's much, much better. So
I saw something that you can make it visually look a little more like the original, but
interesting.
I don't like there was a setting with the controls that I don't know what that is, like some type of filter or something. But
Mhm.
um,
Huge fan of that game when it came out, but I played it when it came out, and
Mhm.
I was a child when I played that game. So we'll see.
but you might have a good amount of nostalgia.
Oh, 100%. I
That
love
might
I
push
love
you through
everything
it.
about it. Yeah.
I'll get it. We'll see. I wonder how long this.
It's probably like 20 hours. It's not
Okay.
not super long.
Okay.
But yeah, that puts a bow on fucking Death Stranding, man. A fantastic game that I think's got a lot going for it, but it's just a little too artsy fartsy for my tastes. And so
Huh.
yeah.
Alright. Well, I'm still playing. Maybe I don't know if I'm still playing Suikoden 2. Is that what you told me? Is there?
It's Suikoden. I was making a joke last time
Oh,
because like that was the point of contention in the community. Like some dipshits would be like, it's Suikoden. But
okay.
like I think the general consensus
Because
is it's
everyone could call
Suikoden.
it. Okay, so I've still been playing it, and I gotta say the castle stuff, because I only barely gotten there, where you get your own castle, you're the leader of, you can name your own army, and I didn't have any good names, so it's all really fucking stupid. Because like my name's Nick, and my army's name is Nick's army, because I'm just like whatever.
Mhm.
I didn't realize how often they're going to use the name in game. How often they're going to be like, Nick's army's at the gate. You're just like, oh shit. Okay, well, whatever. But this thing is really cool for what it does with the castle, and it's empty. Like when you first get it, like you have some people there with you, but generally, like you don't have a store, you don't have your armor, you don't have any of that stuff, and through the course of just normal gameplay, you won't necessarily get all of it. You might get a one or two, but some of it's like you got to go into the towns and talk to the people, and then they might have a little quest or something you got to do to help them, and then like you don't realize it. I'm just talking to this fucking old guy, and he's like, "Give me this," and I'm like, "All right, whatever," and he's like, I make stuff," and he put in a fucking elevator in my castle, so suddenly I don't have to run up and down all the stairs.
That feels good.
You could not do that. You could just, and it's super interesting that it's,
You don't want to be the dipshit that misses out on the elevator.
you could just not, or the bathhouse, like
Okay.
you can totally miss out on that, and then obviously all the stores and things. The best part of this game is tracking down these people and getting them to join you. Find out what you got to do for their quests, and then they join you, and either it might be a playable character, so that's great, or they join you and you can't use them, or they're just doing different shit. And there's a guy, his name's Richmond. I really like him, and you go to him, and you're just like, hey, he's like a detective, and you're just like, how do I met this fucking person? What do you think they're all about? I want to recruit them, because you might not be able to figure out what they need. And he's like, I'm on it. And then like the next time you see him, he's just like, this person loves cats. And you're just like, all right, well, we'll use that to figure out how to get them. I that mechanic's it's so good. And I think I'm not going to play the game anymore. I'm like almost 25 hours, maybe. The combat's not it. And it just is ruining the entire game experience for me. I'm on hard. It's not hard. It's not deep. It's not particularly compelling. It's not rewarding. It doesn't feel good. I'm just like, I just play through this shit. And I'm just like, yeah, like the combat is the worst thing.
Mm.
And none of it has been challenging. And I just want pain in games right now, like Lies of P. I'm just like, I just want things to fucking make it hard and make me engage with your systems and all of your magic. And I'm just like, I don't need any of this shit. I have all these runes. No one needs the runes. I got one mage who fucking murders everybody. And it's I think that's really unfortunate. Because I kind of did some searching just to make sure it doesn't change, but people are just like, yeah, this game's really it's not hard. That's not what is here, and it's too bad because I play a lot of these days. Maybe I talk about this type of game on the show all the time, and I need those combat systems that are deep, like Romantic Saga, all that stuff. Like it's got to have more meat on the bones because it was like Wednesday night, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So I went and played Balatro. So I don't
always keep on coming back to you, baby.
Just went back and I just was like, I'm just kind of over it. And it's too bad because the story's good. The story is story heavy. Mm-hmm. This is not like an open RPG where, you know, in a way it's like do whatever you want, but it is minute by minute, deep, engaging characters. Got a lot of depth to all of them, and I would kind of like to know where this thing goes, and maybe I'll just like ruin it because I don't know that I'm gonna beat it.
Gotcha.
Which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah, but you know, good on you for realizing that it's probably just not going to work for you.
Yeah, it's just not.
You got your taste. You know what this thing's doing, and you can understand why it's so beloved. But you know, sometimes those things just don't resonate. You know what I mean?
It's an unhealthy thing how difficult I want some of these things to be, but I feel like it's the only way that makes me truly engage with systems, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
So it's like,
right,
just make it hurt, make it
super hard,
make it fucking painful.
Okay.
Which that Trails in the Sky remake is coming.
Yeah.
The demo is out. I haven't played it yet.
Mm-hmm.
But that I played the first one on hard, and that was brutal. And this combat, they've changed the combat, so I'm interested to see. I might tinker with that demo because best thing ever, your save transfers over, so you can go and play the demo for free, and then when it comes out in a month, you can just go right in, and that
I'm really looking forward to that thing. I literally have a stack fucking this high of just Trails games, and I played the first one and some of the second of Cold Steel, and I'm like, and I've got a fucking list of like the order in which you should play the games on my phone, and I'm like, I'm ready to do this, but like, and I want to get back in and just like dig my teeth into like all these really good RPGs, but fucking I want to play the first one. You know what I mean?
Sky rules, man.
Yeah,
Sky absolutely rules, and it's good in a way that is totally different from Cold Steel, in that Cold Steel you have a bigger cast of characters, and this is a more like you aren't really picking who is in your party. People come and go,
right?
But it's just an adventure. You and your not brother running across the hillsides,
thinking about fucking each other,
kind of flirting with each other.
Not looking forward to that.
You're not related, but they sure talk about how, well, we're basically like brothers, or we're basically like siblings.
Well, yeah, that's the same thing in fucking Cold Steel 1 and 2.
No, that's actually your sister.
Well,
it's like,
isn't she your stepsister? I'm pretty sure she's your stepsister. But she wants to fuck Green bad. And I'm like, I don't, why? Why?
I don't. If we're gonna censor something, censor that.
Yeah, seriously. Like, get the incest out of video games. I think we can all agree that that's a smart, sound move.
Absolutely. I will say, Suikoden does not. I mentioned I didn't know if they were gonna have. There's really nothing of that. Your sister is here, but she does not appear to want to fuck you.
She doesn't have the hots for you.
No.
Well, thank goodness for that. What are we doing, dude?
I don't know, man.
Makes me feel dirty. I feel dirty for enjoying these games sometimes.
It's unfortunate that they still do some like I don't know if I understand, but like, yes, you did this stuff in the past, so yeah, I play one of those older games and it's there. It's like, okay, but then like a new one comes out and you're just like, still the focus tests on this shit, but like incest is high.
Yeah,
they're just like they're coming back and they're like, The people want more sibling fucking.
I desperately want to make friends with like a Japanese expat that came and moved to the United States that's also really like digged into the culture, and then just like
understand
immediately be like, so
what is
well,
the deal?
what's up with that, man? Can you explain it a little bit better for me, because I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't. Nope. But what about Donkey Kong?
Yeah, no incest in Donkey Kong. Maybe a little bit of bestiality though for everybody.
Yeah, I got a few more powers. We won't be done with this game for quite some time.
Okay,
we've done. I got through the poison level.
Oh, good.
Fucking.
Yeah, I finished that thing as well. Really, really high on that thing overall. I think that it's a pretty fantastic game. One of the best games of the year still for me, I feel like.
I already heard the last few set pieces were really something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
especially if you have nostalgia for like the original games. It goes places, dude. Places that I did not expect it to go. Man, when you get to the end of this, like the last world that you go to, oh my fucking God, dude. It's so cool. And just a huge nostalgia bomb. Like this oh fuck moment happens when you think you're like towards the end of the game and you're like, oh my God, they went, this is where they went with this thing? Wow. So if you're a fan of Donkey Kong Country, any of that stuff, you're going to be very pleased with the end of this game, I would say. So yeah, it definitely ends on a high note. The only criticism that I really have about the game is the challenge. We were talking about it originally when we talked about it. It's like, presumably you would think that like the challenges were going to get even more difficult as the game progressed. And it's just kind of uneven with some of the optional shrines, basically, for lack of a better term. Some of them are incredibly challenging and some of them are incredibly frustrating, but it doesn't like ramp up. It's just all over the place, you know. Like you mean the latter part of the game, you go and do a challenge and you like do it first try and you're like, that's kind of a disappointment for me, like as an adult that's looking for, I don't want it to be a breeze, you know what I mean? I don't want it to be fucking face button level of difficulty for Masterbot because I want to pull my goddamn hair out with some of those. But I do want a little bit of challenge with this like optional content, and it's just not really there. I will say, you know, we talked about some of the just kind of like the autopilot bosses. The last 2 or 3 bosses of the game actually do pose a challenge.
Okay.
And they don't just die immediately. Like in the case of the final boss, it took me a couple of tries to beat it. Okay. You know, like I was like, oh damn, like they making this a final boss. But overall, like the difficulty is just not super high in this thing. But I don't know if it necessarily needs to be for what it is. It's just the historical aspect of Donkey Kong Country games being fucking balls to the wall.
They've been kind of difficult.
Pull your goddamn fingernails out. Difficult, and this just doesn't have it. But I mean, just a wonderful, just little romp, Nintendo magic all over this thing. And yeah, really, really enjoyed it. And that ending, man, oh, chef's kiss, so good.
We haven't played it this week, but I know that my daughter wants to play it tomorrow morning. So we're pretty much weekend ordering this thing, and hopefully by the end of the year I will have gotten there. We're not trying to do everything, so I'm hoping that I can just get through it so I can at least see all the main content.
Yeah, I did a completionist run on it, and doing a completionist run, I clocked in at like 60 hours.
Damn.
So yeah, a good amount of there's a lot of content. That's every
fucking banana.
There's 1,000 bananas in the game.
Seems like too many bananas.
Yeah, it's a lot of bananas. But
no real bananas. Isn't it weird? There's like no real bananas.
Yeah, there is no real bananas.
They're all like
rocks. Fossilized bananas. Yeah, no, I didn't think about that. He never whips one out and like peels it and eats it or anything like that I can remember. Maybe no, I don't think there is. But Yeah, like the collectibles as well, like all the different color palettes for Donkey Kong's fur is
Mm.
great. All the little costumes for Pauline are fantastic. You get some really cool ones towards the end of the game if you've got nostalgia for old school Nintendo. I will push back on some people in games media was like, the story is fantastic. It's so good. And I don't even know if you put it in like if you look at it through the lens of like, if you're applying this to like a really high quality Pixar movie or something like
Mm.
that, is this thing on that level? I just don't think it is. I mean, I think it's fantastic, but like, I don't know. It's just a fucking pretty basic story about going down a hole with this fucking little girl on your back. You just keep on going down this hole until you get to the bottom. And then you go to the top at the end. And it's like it's fine. It serves its purpose, but like I would not I would not say that I was just like, oh my God, this is just one of the best stories I've seen in this type of game. You
Mhm.
know, like it's just surface level, pretty basic stuff, excluding the ending. The end, like I said before, is pretty fucking crazy.
And maybe that's why people said that, because it was a recency bias kind
But
of what
but
they
it's not
just seen. But
it's not like plot points that are crazy. It's just inclusions of things. If you have like a point of reference from older games where you're
Mm.
like, holy shit, it's not really story. It's just more nostalgia. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Huh.
But yeah, really fantastic fucking game. High recommend. If you don't have it on Switch, I don't know what the fuck you're doing because like there's
Oh.
2 games on Switch too. So go
Mhm.
and get this if you have a Switch 2 and are just playing shitty Mario Kart.
Yep.
Which is sad to say that Mario Kart sucks, but like the more I think about that game, I'm just like, I just don't think that game was it, man.
That's crazy, but I wonder where it will fall at the end. Like
I
if
don't
if
think it's
it'll.
gonna. I don't think it's. I think Donkey Kong has a much higher chance of winning a bunch of rewards for Nintendo than Mario Kart does.
Yeah, I just wonder on the sales side, because I think Mario Kart sells for a different reason. It doesn't actually matter.
Well, you're gonna
Uh,
cut into your cells a little bit unless you're a crazy person like me that needs a physical copy because they bundled it with the console, right?
that's true. It was only like $50 more or something. So
Yeah,
you get a
yeah, and I
decent deal
didn't
on
do
it.
that. I bought the physical copy of it, but
Mm.
yeah, really like went through the eShop just looking
Just
because I
looking
was
for
like,
something to do.
I really liked Ragebound a lot, and I want like something like that.
Hmm.
And I'm like looking, Googling, and I'm like, why am I fucking Googling? I know all of these things.
Nothing
I know,
here.
like, I'm
There's just
typing in
nothing.
like best games to play on Switch 2. And then I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, I have this all in my head of like, and I have all of the games. Like, so it's like just a list of old Switch games. And I'm like, yeah, I have all of these. I played them all. So, like,
It's pretty funny.
come on, we got the fucking Pokemon game coming out. But God, it's Legends of Arceus, but it's Z8 this time, and I did not like Legends of Arceus at all. And so I am not really super stoked. I mean, I'm gonna fucking buy it and play it. But yeah, I just was not a huge fan of what they did with that game. And I know I'm in the minority because
Yeah, a lot of
people
people
love
liked
that
it.
thing. Just did not do it for me. Maybe they switched some things up there. But we got that, and then Metroid, whenever that's coming out, who fucking knows if that's actually gonna come out in 2025? Like, there's no proper release date for it.
I'm pretty sure it's coming.
Well, I mean, they've said it's coming, but like, it's odd that we're getting
Mhm.
past the midpoint of the year now, and it's like holiday probably, I guess.
Well, where are you gonna play Silk Song?
On the Switch 2, obviously, and that comes out in fucking like 2 weeks, which is insane.
September 4th.
Yeah,
I don't want to just say that I was right. The last Gamescast, I'm pretty sure I said I bet we play that game within 60 days.
yeah, you're right.
And I think we're gonna be under the fucking bar.
I think so.
But yeah, great. I'm ready. I am absolutely ready to play it. But I was actually just wasn't sure where I was gonna play this thing. I guess
Switch 2.
Switch 2,
Switch 2.
probably.
All day long. Yeah, absolutely.
I think even more so after I don't like I like the form factor more on the Switch 2, so that kind of makes sense. So I'll play that, and that comes out before the next show, only a couple days before. So
yeah, we're probably going to be talking a lot about Metal Gear Solid on the next show. That'll probably be the next big one. I've been messing around with a few things here and there as well, but one game in particular that might be worth talking about, but I'm still on the fence about it.
Do you care they are not sending out any review copies for Silk Song, and some journalists are saying, waving a flag that is concerning. Um, I generally, I think that review copies should go out. Like I like that reviews can come out day and date. Like I get it, right? Um, I just think occasionally there gets to be an exception. And I think the exception in this case, yeah, I do not care in the least that Silksong does not have review copies going out. Like it was, I don't care what I was going to buy it day one no matter what. It really did not matter. And maybe I shouldn't because I had a lot of faith in CD Projekt Red and that didn't work out. But I have a lot of faith that this thing is going to be a fucking banger.
It's kind of a apples to oranges comparison, though. When we're talking about like Cyberpunk,
Yes.
that's just like that thing had a clear cut, good idea, but the execution was poor and it was underbaked, right? Where this thing is it's just different. It's not this fucking like graphical powerhouse that's gonna, require a beefy rig to run effectively. I don't know. I mean, I'm on the side of the journalists in this case. I think you don't buck the trends. I think that you do what everyone expects you to do, because I think that, yes, in this case, it's not going to matter. The thing is, so sought after and desired that it's going to sell like gangbusters, and it's not going to matter. But I do not like just completely keeping the media out,
Sure.
journalists out from playing a game early, because I think that, whether you like it or not, there are going to be people like I think you're cutting off some of your buyer base to a certain extent, because not everybody, I know this might be surprising, not everybody fucking played Hollow Knight, right? And so I think you're just kind of hurting word of mouth of somebody that's maybe like on the fence. This thing gets perfect 10s across the board in theory, right? And all those reviews come out, and somebody that hasn't really dipped their toes in the first Hollow Knight's like, oh, well, this thing just reviewed super well. I'm obviously going to go pick that up. Not saying that won't just happen organically with people that are playing the game if it's that good.
I think they
I just don't like it.
I think they specifically, because of the success from Hollow Knight, have the luxury that they don't have to care. And they paired this announcement with a release date with an interview with Jason Schreier, and basically an interview that says, why'd the game take so long? And it's them saying, because we are having a great time. And they had the ability and the money to do whatever they want.
Right.
And I think when you really look at it through that lens, that I don't think that they care. I think that they just went out to make another one of these and make it incredible. And they don't care about promoting it. They clearly don't care about promoting it. Like, they have no trailers for this thing. 2 weeks before they release it, they just come out and say, yeah, it'll be here. You guys have all been waiting. It's the most wish list game on Steam right now.
Yeah.
I
think that it's like the most wish listed game ever, if I'm not mistaken, on Steam.
I'm generally with you that it's not a good precedent to just have these games showing up without any reviews. I just look at this, and I know this isn't like this huge company, and they just don't care or need to. They're just going to put their thing out and say, and I don't know if I like their explanation. Their explanation was, we don't want anyone, we want the backers to be able to play it at the same time as everyone else. It's like, all right, whatever, guy. But like,
I think that's an asanine excuse. Like, that's not cutting into anything. Like,
I don't think the backers would, I don't think the backers are, wait a minute.
The fucking games media fucking got it early.
I think at the end of the day, they just looked at it and said, we just do not, they basically just do not need the reviews. They do not need them.
They don't. And I agree with everything that you said. I still don't like it. I think it's scummy. I don't think that you should do that shit. And like, I don't know. It's not like games media is fucking knocking out of the park right now. Like, people in the industry are struggling mightily. And this is just like giving more reason to be like, oh, we don't need this.
One thing I saw is
we don't need games media, which I think we do. I think we do. And we should.
I don't think we're going to have it. Well, it's all going to be AI bullshit.
That's true.
Like, it's all going to be, it's maybe a last call, but the AI fucking thing. Like, I don't know how much time you spend on Instagram, but pretty much everything they show you, all the write-ups, like of the slop, right? Not what you follow. Like it's just like, hey, you want to see this funny thing? You want to see like you follow soccer, so you probably get soccer things of accounts that just post like games and stuff. And then the write-ups are fucking that is straight AI.
Yeah.
On this date in 1985, this video presents a guy scoring a goal, and you're just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
like,
that's very commonplace in the YouTube sphere right now. Like,
everything's getting bad.
people are just taking advantage of like very low effort videos where they just are like go and tell some AI fucking script like make a video about World War II, and then it's just like some fucking robot voice talking about World War II, and you post that,
Right.
and it's just like you get a bunch of views and passive income from doing this. It's a bad precedent.
I was watching videos on Instagram about of Messi. I do it occasionally. I just like I want to see some fucking goals, right? And it came up and he was doing his fucking thing, and the description said fucking here's Maradona like doing his thing, and I was like, first of all, kind of funny because like there's a lot of comparisons that Argentina did with him, but also it's just like that's Messi.
Yeah,
That's not the right guy.
you're like literally
Like,
3 generations of soccer players away from the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, not great.
I don't know.
It's not good. What if you want a pro tip? I think the best goals. I mean, it's arguable, but I think for me personally, the best highlight goal like compilations you can watch is Thierry Henry. That guy in his prime had some of the most insane, just electrifying fucking goals.
Okay.
And if you're into that kind of thing, you like watching a little goal compilation. Henry he's definitely on the Mount Rushmore. Messi's there too. Ronaldo's there. Henry was a fucking beast and scored some nasty, nasty goals. We watch him and you're like, I don't know how he just fucking did that. That was so insane. So yeah, go watch Henry videos.
I can do it. You got anything else to add?
I don't think so. I feel like we were going to talk about one game that we didn't talk about, but
on Roger.
Yeah.
We didn't we don't need to cover it. We can talk maybe the next time.
Isn't it And Roger?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
We can talk about it real quick. It was only gonna take a second, right?
Yeah.
There's a game that I heard about that was like people, the games media, were like, wow, go play it. It takes an hour. And I'm all about that shit. I'm like, all right. I'm like, sure. I don't have a lot of time. You tell me I can play a game for an hour and talk about it on a podcast, then that's great. So I didn't know much about it, but you play through this game and you are the little girl. At times, it bounces back and forth quite a bit. You do some puzzles throughout this game, and they're very difficult. Not in that the actual puzzle is difficult; it's that things don't work right. And I'm going to spoil this game. So if you have it has an interesting premise and it's not expensive. So you can go play it and before we like spoil it if you want. But some of the puzzles just don't work right. And you're like, this is bad game design. You're just like, this is fucking weird. It doesn't go the right direction, stuff like that. And that part isn't anything special. The reason that I liked, or at least I think what this thing is interesting, is this person has dementia, and they're trying to show you kind of what it's like to try for them to do some tasks or some basic tasks. And that is a really interesting premise. I don't think that's something that a lot of people have dabbled with to try to even attempt that. So I think that is worth the hour to say, huh, that's interesting. I don't think you liked it.
I did not like it. Not at all. I did not enjoy it. I didn't think that the storytelling was particularly compelling. And that's really what this thing is. I mean, there is very, very, very light gameplay elements here. But the thing that you just highlighted, I think, is an interesting idea because you're looking at it through a person that has dementia. So it makes sense from that perspective. But my counter to that is it's not fun to have dementia and try to play a game. And so there is no, like, it's a cool idea. And I'm glad that I checked it out because it is a cool idea. And I think that there needs to be visibility for these types of things and like coming up with like kind of a unique gameplay hook with this
The
is
story,
good.
the story could have been better in that it's not. It doesn't really very clearly lay things out because you're playing as that character.
Right.
So it kind of leaves a bit to desire. Like you could really pull on some heartstrings with this type of thing. You could really
Mhm.
emotionally impact people. And I didn't necessarily find myself emotionally impacted by anything that this game did, besides the fact that just the interesting aspect of saying, oh, that's why all that shit sucked and
Right.
was weird or didn't make sense at the time.
Right. Yeah. There is that like kind of epiphany moment when you get to that point in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, like the gameplay elements here are just not great. It's like there'll be like a line that shows up on the screen and then it will disappear. And then it's like you kind of have to. I played on mouse and keyboard. I think you played on the Switch, right?
Yes.
Because I looked for
Yeah,
it
yeah.
in the Steam library, it wasn't
No, I
there.
played on the Switch.
So yeah, then it's like you move your cursor to try to connect the lines, but like you see where the line should connect, and you're like, okay, this is not like super complicated,
Mm.
and then it doesn't work, and you're like, why doesn't it work?
Like it should work.
Yeah, it should work. This is not hard, and
Mm.
then it's because this person that you're playing at is struggling with dementia. And it makes sense, but like I just didn't like it. I sent you a text message and I was like, I don't want to sound like a heartless asshole about this, but I don't fucking like this thing.
I think that's fair. I think it's fair to just be like, well, and it can't be longer than it is. Like there's like, especially for just what you're doing. Like this is just an in and out thing where you jump in, run through it, and you're like, okay, well, interesting. And then there's some Jesus stuff kind of randomly sprinkled throughout the thing, which
Yeah.
at times kind of like takes you. You're just like, oh, this is a we got God stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like,
They just like flash excerpts from the Bible multiple
and
times during the run.
we're not the
We are.
target demographic. Like, listen, you can come to the Salt City Gamescast for a lot of things, but if you're looking for some Jesus talk,
You're not gonna find it here.
we are just not equipped to give you accurate information or really any information at all.
Yeah, for sure. And like my thing is look, I don't necessarily fault anybody for including it, because if it's their faith and it's, and obviously for a lot of people it's the most important thing in their lives, I don't have any issue with that. I maybe when I was an angsty young person I was a little bit more anarchistic when it came to this kind of stuff. But now as an adult I'm like, you do you, and everybody's got to find their own peace. But for me personally, it just does not resonate with me. And if you beat me over the head with it, I am not going to be receptive. I'm just not. And I think this game kind of teeters on the line of maybe being a little bit overboard when it comes to the religious stuff for me.
Can't imagine why you don't like being having religion beat into you over and over again.
Yeah, it's like we
you
don't
can't
live in a weird
imagine-
place.
Can't
but
imagine how this happened to us.
I know. Wow. It's like we live in a pretty like atheistic state here. So yeah, I don't know, dude. Just wasn't for me. Cool
Yeah.
idea.
Sure.
I appreciate that a lot of people like it. I did not.
That's fair. That is going to do it. Those Gamescast 158. If you want to join the Discord, there should be a link in the show notes, or you can go over. We have a YouTube account, and over there it will also be in the bio, and you can come in and talk to us about, I don't know, whatever you're playing. Doesn't fucking matter. That's gonna do it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.